using methods such as violence, heirs property, tax sales, and Torrens Acts. Of all these, the Heirs Property Act is still in force today, as Black owners lose every source of wealth they've created for generations. To understand the magnitude of this land theft, we must examine the extreme measures taken by those who captured the land from African American landowners. Both laws and practices allowed white landowners, farmers, and developers to manipulate the system so they could gain control over the land owned by African American farmers and homeowners. In this video, we're going to take a look at the 4 ways Black Americans were robbed of their land and how these robberies still occurs today. Before we get right into the video, please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel to keep informed of our eye-opening Black narrative. Untold numbers of Black Americans became landowners following the Civil War, when the government handed over some 20 million acres, mostly in the South, under the Homestead Act. These property holdings could have provided a foundation for Black wealth building in post-Jim Crow America. Instead, they became a source of riches for others. Rather than helping to close the racial wealth gap, Blacks' land holdings became a key force in widening it as white people and officials used 4 extreme measures to steal and claim Black land. Number 1, violence. With Black people getting richer and owning more property than ever before, jealous white folks sought to using violence and deadly force to enforce the idea of white supremacy. The Tuskegee Institute and the National ASSN for the Advancement of Colored People have documented more than 3,000 lynchings between 1865 and 1965. Many of those lynched were landowners, and the goal behind them was to bring an end to Black wealth, take Black land, and uphold white supremacy. These lynchings were not only done by ordinary white people, but some white officials condoned the violence. Several of them added threats of their own. James K. Vardaman, who was governor of Mississippi from 1904 to 1908, was quoted saying, "If it is necessary, every Negro in the state will be lynched." With the start of these lynchings, mostly single families were targeted. However, in some cases, entire Black communities were destroyed. The racial cleansing of Forsyth County, Georgia in 1912 and the destruction of Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1921 are some of the most significant examples. Today, Birmingham, Kentucky lies under a floodway created in the 1940s. This town was destroyed by the creation of Kentucky Lake. But at the start of the 20th century, it was a tobacco center with a predominantly Black population and a battleground in a 5-year siege by white marauders called Night Riders. On the night of March 8, 1908, about 100 armed whites tore through town on horseback, shooting 7 Blacks, 3 of them fatally. The press documented the cases of 14 Black landowners who were driven from Birmingham. Together, they lost more than 60 acres of farmland and 21 city lots to whites, many at sheriff's sales, all for low prices. John Scruggs and his granddaughter were killed in Birmingham that night. Property records show that the lot Scruggs had bought for $25 in 1902 was sold for non-payment of taxes 6 years after the attack. A white man bought it for $7.25, about $144 in today's dollars. Land that had belonged to other Blacks went for even less. John Puckett's 2 acres sold for $2.60. In Pierce City, Missouri, 1,000 armed whites burned down 5 Black-owned houses and killed 4 Blacks on August 18, 1901. Within days, all of the town's 129 Blacks had fled, never to return. According to the Associated Press, 9 Pierce City Blacks would lose a total of 30 acres of farmland and 10 city lots. Whites would go on to buy it all at bargain prices. In the case of Eveline Brinson, whose house was burned down by the mob, she would sell her lot for $25 to a white woman after the attack. The attacks on Birmingham and Pierce City were part of a pattern in southern and border states in the first half of the 20th century. Lynchings and mob attacks on Blacks, followed by an exodus of Black citizens, some of them forced to abandon their property or sell it at cut-rate prices. Black landowners were put under a tremendous amount of pressure, from authorities and otherwise, to give up their land and leave. They became refugees in their own country. For example, the Associated Press found that 18 Black families lost a total of 330 acres, plus 48 city lots when they fled Ocoee, Florida, after a 1920 Election Day attack on the Black community. According to property records, some were able to sell their land at a fair price, but others, such as Valentine Hightower, were not. He parted with 52 acres for $10 in 1926. Today, the land lost by the 18 Ocoee families, not including buildings now on it, is assessed at more than $4.2 million. Sometimes individual black farmers were singled out and attacked by bands of white farmers known as the Whitecaps. Operating in several southern and border states around the turn of the 20th century, they were intent on driving blacks from their land and discouraging other blacks from acquiring it. Whitecaps often nailed notes with crudely drawn coffins to the doors of black landowners, warning them to leave or die. The warning to Eli Hilson of Lincoln County, Mississippi, came on November 18, 1903, when Whitecaps shot up his house. However, Hilson ignored the warning. A month later, the 39-year-old farmer was shot dead as he drove his buggy toward his farm. The horse pulling the buggy trotted home, delivering Hilson's body to his wife, Hannah. She struggled to rear their 11 children and work the 74-acre farm, but she could not manage without her husband. She lost the property through a mortgage foreclosure in 1905. Land records show the farm went for over $400 to S.P. Oliver, a county supervisor. Today, the property is assessed at over $60,000. It wasn't just whitecaps and night riders who chased blacks from their land. Sometimes officials did it. In Yazoo County, Mississippi, Norman Stevens and his twin brother Homer ran a trucking business, hauling cotton pickers to plantations. Stevens' widow, Rosie Fields, would reveal the harrowing story that unfolded years later. One day in 1950, a white farmer demanded that Stevens immediately deliver workers to his field. Stevens explained he had other commitments and promised to drop off the men later. However, the farmer fetched the sheriff. That evening, the brothers found themselves locked in a second-floor room at the county jail. They squeezed through a window, leaped to the ground, and ran. Fields said her husband later told her why. They had overheard the sheriff, now dead, talking about where to hide their bodies. Fields said Stevens and his brother quickly flagged down a bus to Ohio. A year later, she and her 5 children joined them. For a decade, the family made mortgage and property tax payments on the house they left behind, records show. But it was hard to keep up, and they never dared to return, Fields said. Finally, in the 1960s, they stopped paying and lost the house they had purchased for $700 in 1942. One of the most brutal cases of racial violence to claim black land was the story of Anthony Crawford. Crawford was a rich black American who inherited.
Come back and get credit for the work you've put in at Purdue Global. With your experience and college credit, your degree may
inherited farmable land on his father's death, which he increased by substantial land purchases in 1883, 1888, 1899, and 1903. In the mid or late 1890s, Crawford was co-founder of the Industrial Union of Abbeville County, which was devoted to the material, moral, and intellectual advance of the colored people. He was also the father of 12 sons and 4 daughters. Crawford was without doubt one of the richest men in Abbeville County. However, his prosperity had made him a target. The success of blacks such as Crawford threatened the reign of white supremacy, as at that time there were obvious limitations or ceilings that blacks weren't supposed to go beyond. For many decades, successful blacks lived with a gnawing fear that white neighbors could at any time do something violent and take everything from them. That day would come for Crawford, leading to this untimely demise. On October 21, 1916, Crawford was taking 2 loads of cotton and a load of seed into Abbeville and had a disagreement over the price of cottonseed with W.D. Barksdale, a white store owner. Barksdale offered Crawford 85 cents a pound for his cottonseed. Crawford replied that he had a better offer. Barksdale called him a liar. Crawford called the storekeeper a cheat. 3 clerks grabbed axe handles and Crawford backed into the street, where Sheriff Burtz appeared and arrested Crawford for cursing a white man. Crawford was held at the jail briefly and released later that day on $15 bail. While Crawford was arranging bail, Barksdale was organizing a mob with McKinney Can to whip Crawford and cure him if possible. Sheriff Burtz allowed Crawford to exit from a side door, but the mob saw him anyway and pursued him into a cotton mill nearby, where Crawford took shelter in the boiler room. McKinney Can entered the boiler room after Crawford, and Crawford, grabbing a hammer from some nearby tools, knocked the man unconscious. Although the mill workers attempted to stop it, Crawford was stabbed and severely beaten by the mob. Sheriff Burtz appeared and arrested Crawford once more, much to the chagrin of the mob of whites. The sheriff could only get Crawford away from the mob by promising to the brothers of Can that he would not try to sneak Crawford out of town before the full extent of McKinney Can's injuries was known. As it happened, Can was not badly hurt, although Crawford was. He was treated by physician C.C. Gamble, who also happened to be the mayor of Abbeville. Gamble announced that Crawford would likely die from his wounds. Considering that Crawford might die before the mob could get to him, and concerned that the sheriff might spirit him out of town at 3 p.m., around 200 white men besieged the jail, captured and disarmed Sheriff Burtz, and abducted Crawford. Crawford was dragged down 3 flights of stairs amongst a cheering, bloodthirsty mob, where they proceeded to beat him with rocks, wagon boards, jump and spit on him. The mob then dragged him through the black section of town with a rope around his neck as a warning. They then stole a lumber wagon from a black driver and used it to take Crawford to a fairground nearby. Crawford, likely dead by that point, was still hung from a tree, and armed whites riddled his body with bullets, rendering it to a bloody pulp by the bloodthirsty white mob that resented his wealth. The paper's headline the next day read, "Negro strung up and shot to pieces." To hide the truth, the county coroner reported that Crawford had died at the hands of parties unknown. That night, the relentless mob decided they needed to drive Crawford's children and their families from the area. On October 23, 1916, the white citizens of Abbeville, including many members of the lynch mob, voted to expel the remainder of Crawford's family from South Carolina and to seize their considerable property holdings. They also voted to close down all the black-owned businesses in Abbeville. The Crawfords requested they be given until the November 15th, and it was granted they were to leave by mid-November. They did indeed leave, leaving behind their family's generational assets. Number 2.
Battle House is not like any other laser tag you've played before.
What's the difference between this and
Tax sale. The next method used to scheme black people out of their land was tax sales. Tax sales were a way that the land could be taken from its owners and auctioned off. White tax assessors routinely overvalued black-owned land, forcing black property owners to bear a heavier tax burden than whites and slowly draining families of earnings. If black-owned property became valuable or a black property owner challenged white supremacy, local officials could simply declare the property tax delinquent and sell it at a tax sale. In these cases, black people would want to stay on their land instead of selling it, but most of them lived on a fixed income. Consequently, many of these homeowners eventually found themselves unable to afford their annual property taxes. Once they were in default, the county would put the property up for auction. This was something that developers used as an advantage when they wanted to access land families didn't want to sell. The story of Evelina Jenkins, a black South Carolina Sea Islands native, offers a case in point. She owned dozens of acres of property, including an entire island, at a time in the early 1970s when land values along the state's coastline were skyrocketing. As a result of the state's pitiful expenditures on colored schools, Miss Jenkins had received only minimal education and never learned to read. Decades of disfranchisement and white control of local government and the courts had taught her that whatever rights and protections it afforded did not apply to her. Even venturing inside the local government offices where people registered for licenses or paid their taxes was an invitation to be mistreated and humiliated, and was something to avoid. So Miss Jenkins entrusted a white neighbor who had befriended her to take her annual property tax payments to town for her. But rather than submitting Miss Jenkins's payments, he pocketed them, then waited for her taxes to fall delinquent, whereupon he bought the lien to her property at the county's annual tax auction. Then, after the statutory redemption window closed, he gained title to her land holdings, island and all, which he subsequently resold to a developer. In the decades since, the land Jenkins once owned has generated untold amounts of wealth. Houses on the island she once owned today sell for upward of $400,000. Miss Jenkins, though, never saw a dime of it. Rather than leave her children an ample inheritance, she died penniless, forced to live out her last days in her daughter's mobile home. While Miss Jenkins's case was particularly egregious, the legal theft of black land in similar ways was not uncommon. In booming real estate markets like Hilton Head and surrounding Sea Islands, tax sales afforded investors a lucrative opportunity to acquire valuable property for pennies on the dollar. Number 3, Torrens Axe. A third method was called the Torrens Axe. The Torrens Axe was based off of the Torrens systems, which was first used 1858 in Australia. It was developed by Sir Robert Torrens for the purpose of enhancing the certainty of title to land and to simplify dealings involving land. When introduced in the United States, the Torrens Act was supposed to be used to simplify title registry. Instead, it became a loophole that allowed third parties to forcibly remove families from their property through partition sales. Partition sales take place when one of a property's owners wants to sell, but the others don't. The Torrens Act and related rules allowed sales to take place without the notification of family members or other co-owners of the land. Once the sale was made, the rules associated with the Torrens Act protected the buyer from any legal recourse by the owners who did not know about or agree to the sale. Number 4, heirs property. While there were several ways people were allowed to take land differed by state, with each having its own approach to scheme black people out of their land, heirs property was a method used across all of them. Heirs property generally refers to family-owned property inherited by multiple generations without the formal legal proceedings necessary to prove ownership. Without probate proceedings at an owner's death, heirs may possess the property, but they lack the clear title necessary to prove their ownership status. This means they may not be able to sell the property, use the property as collateral for financing, or receive USDA benefits for farming activities conducted on the property. It also means they may be at a greater risk of losing the property through a partition action or because they fail to pay their property taxes. Over generations, the number of owners would become substantial. This created challenges for the landowners. It eventually became easy enough for other people to come in and take control of the land.
Oh. Hey, Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Shem Yashah Brakatah. Yahweh Shamar Al Taba Shem Yashah. To all my brothers and sisters, Israel, man, we are the Isupk, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group, Blackity Black Movement, or Muslim Mosque, or nothing. We stand alone. It says 1969. We teach the truth about this Bible that all so-called, right? All so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians are the real Israelites, are God's chosen people. We are the real Jews. Look no further. And knowing that, we must keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments. The Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? It's not good enough just to know that you're a Jew or you're the Israelites of old, but we have to keep the laws now. You understand? Tonight is the Wednesday night law class. All right. With the Wednesday night law class, this class is being taught across the nation and all of our schools, you know, overseas, here, wherever we have a school at. Like, share, subscribe to the channels. Thumbs up. If you got any questions, feel free to ask your questions. We'll do our best to answer them in the chat. This ain't the Christian church. We will answer your questions. You understand? No need to be afraid. Also, too, big shout out to the brothers and sisters, the captains, general officers out there in New York. Get ready for the New York headquarters cookout. It's going down this weekend, Lord willing. Hope to see you, brothers and sisters, there. If you need any help getting down there, any arrangements, contact your camp leader, man. Let's get along. Let's support this truth, man. Let's show our people that are in the world that it is possible to gather ourselves together without someone getting shot or arguments breaking out or foolishness, man. I look forward to these cookouts, man. It's like little baby mini Passovers. Right. You get to see brothers you ain't seen since the Passover, man. It's glorious. I love it. Nothing else better than that. You know what I mean? Feeding the people, strangers, you know, anybody. You Israelite, you come get fed, man. Come see a real brother, sister. It looks like. Big shout out to the New York school, man. Going down this weekend. You know, it's at Marcus Garvey Park on Sunday. From Thursday to Sunday, full of events. Like I said, hit up the New York ISUPK New York headquarters for further information, or go on Facebook and check the itinerary. But yeah, like I said, man, this is a Wednesday night law class. Of course, we'll be going over law scriptures. Some of these scriptures you may have heard before. Some you may have not heard before. Right. If you heard it before, you better memorize them. Just like you memorize them on nasty songs. You got space in your head for some, you know, whatever song. Yeah, Pound Town. And you got and hit them up. then you damn sure can memorize some of these scriptures about keeping God's laws. They should be just as ironed in our heads, if more ironed in our heads than his music and some of these ridiculous Star Spangled Banner and some of the philosophies we learned in school. These laws, statutes, and commandments should be ironed in your head. So we don't give a damn if you heard them 10 times. You're going to hear them again and again and again till Christ's return. And then when he returns, guess what? You're going to hear him some more. You understand? It's our record book. You know what I mean? Big shout out to everybody logging in the chat, man. We got Princess K, shout out to Sister Chrissy, the usual suspect, Officer Quatazar. The lyrics, Hair and Doc. Shalom, sis. Oh, the luxury hair doc. Yeah. You know what I mean? Who that? Sister Summer? I think that shout out Bata Zarwan's red, man. Sister Summer, man, in the building. You know what I mean? Everybody checking in, man. No sign in Christ. Y'all got any questions? Feel free to type them in the chat. You know what I mean? We'll do our best to answer them. Any topics, anything you need breakdown on, clarification on, you know, hey, we rocking and rolling tonight. It is? Okay, yeah. Big shout out to the sisters, man. You know what I mean? If you could, brother, give me the book of Proverbs 1 and 22. Shalom, sir. Give me the book of Proverbs 1 and 22, if you don't mind. Like I said, you're going to hear some of these scriptures for your first time. If you're a Christian logging in, welcome. All Christians watching this video, welcome home. This is your new home. It should become your new home. You understand? This ain't the Christian church, man. This is the Lord's, work right here. What we're doing. You understand what I'm saying? The real priests and prophets. So welcome home, man. You're a Christian. Feel free to ask your little Christian questions, man. Ain't no shame. We'll get it on. I know y'all scared of the Israelites. You ain't got to be scared of these Negroes you see on the corner with a microphone. Don't be scared, man. Don't be scared. Ask your questions. You know what I mean? Let's find out who's telling the truth or who's damn lying, man.
Right.
Let's find out for sure. Go ahead, brother.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 22.
Uh-huh.
How long, ye simple ones?
How long ye what?
Ye simple ones.
I love this scripture. It's asking, how long ye simple ones? To be simple just means you just, who's a character that I can relate to being simple? The Three Stooges? They're very simple. Right. Someone thump him in the head, he's turning around this way. He thump him this way, turn around that way, then pong, woo, like simple, stupid. Children sometimes can be simple. Somebody say, come here, little fella, what you got behind your ear? A big ass quarter. You're like, what? Simple-minded, man. Like children without guidance. You like that simple, dumb animal just walks right into the trap because he's carnal. He don't have the wisdom to know this box is going to fall on my head if I try to get this carrot. Simple, man. That's us. That's blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians. He's asking how long you simple ones. That's why we are simple, man. I've come to the realization a long time ago that we are simple. Why? Because I used to be simple as hell. I used to be one of the most simpletons ever. So you want the class? You used to be one of the most simple jive turkeys you ever want to meet. You understand what I'm saying? But guess what, though? You don't have to stay simple. Right. Being simple is just, it's really a straight up diss. You want to make a nigga mad. You call him simple. You old simple somebody. You know what I mean? And that'll really get them going. You understand what I'm saying? And then, too, this Bible is such a live book. It applies to this time, which also lets you know that Negroes, blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians always been like this. Ain't nothing changed. We always been simple-minded. But he's asking us how long? There's got to be an expiration date to us smoking cigarettes because that's a simple thing. Our zodiac signs and horoscopes, that's a simple thing. Burning sage or putting an Indian dream catcher in your house because you think it's going to ward off evil spirits, that's a simple thing. Going to church, oh my God, that is a simple thing to do. Right. You want to go get your hallelujah fix every week, and after church Sunday, you a complete animal. But you got to get your hallelujah fix on Sunday. Simple. Serving other gods is a simple, you won't take it out? Oh. Serving other gods is a simple thing, man. Right. Like, how you going to serve a God that's dead? We know we serve a living power, the Most High God. Yahweh is his name. And we don't play around with that name. We serve a living power. You understand? But you worshiping some cat in some corner store, or you circling some rock and you tongue kissing this rock with everybody else in Mecca, or you in some church of Satan or some Wiccan garbage, or you're a Nordic heathen, whatever. I can go on for days about these simple religions. And Shalom, sis, how you doing? Look at that pretty baby over there. Look like his daddy sitting over there. You know, it's a shame we just worship all kind of simple nonsense. And the Most High God is a living power. And it makes us look simple. You ever see the East Indian gods? Oh, man. The East Indian gods, brother, they're just ridiculous. They got several gods. I think they worship the cow, too, over there. I think they worship the cow and the fire god. I remember when COVID came, they were just burning up all their dead. They didn't even bury them. They just burnt them in the street. The god Kali. I remember we played Mortal Kombat. Wasn't Gordo East Indian with all the arms, the 8 arms? Like, come on, man. Oh, that is Sister Summer. Shout out to Sister Summer in the chat, man. She said, "Get it right, Negro." You know my handle. Yeah, look at these ridiculous guys my brother about to pull up. That's why I call it, how long you simple ones. We're very simple people, man. You know how I know we simple too? Because something simple as, like smoking. Like, when you really break down the bare essence of smoking, it is smoke going into your lungs for a desired effect. And some of the most, the people who love to smoke want to be called some of the most health conscious people you ever want to meet. And then when you finally get to know them, you find out they smoke. You're like, brother, I thought that cabbage was not electric foods, and I thought that corn was genetically modified because you can't digest it. And I thought that alkaline was 9.5, and the Kundalini and the 7 chakras, he talking all this nonsense, but then he go fire a blunt. It's simple as hell.
Right.
Just plain damn simple. Read it again from the top for me, brother, if you could. Look at those simple gods, man. That's ridiculous. I mean, it's laughable, really.
Right. The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 22. Mm-hmm. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity?
And he said, will we love simplicity? Not only do we participate in being simple and stupid, we love it.
Right.
Oh, we love it. I can tell with the crate challenge, we were simple. A bunch of niggas went and found crates from Food Line. Where did they get these crates from? I have no clue where they found these crates from the crate challenge. Right. I don't. Because I remember in life, we would get a crate and hang it up. We old school. You couldn't afford a basketball group. You take a crate, bust the bottom out, hung on a light pole, and you balling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't every day somebody's rich parents can afford to get them a roll-out basketball goal. We use crates to play ball in.
Right.
And then I turn around, and before you know it, Negroes are stacking up crates trying to see who can get to the top. Now, it was funny. I'll give you that. Some of the videos was funny, especially when he was like, ooh, when I came down. The old black man. You got when I came down, ooh. Right. It was still in the videos was funny. And black folks, we so athletic. Some niggas just ran up there, got the money.
Right.
Ran it back, But that's simple stuff, man. We fell in love with it. So much so we watched all those videos and didn't watch class.
Right.
You wasn't coming to Command Honda. You wasn't watching Black Watch. You wasn't watching America on Fire. You too busy trying to do a crate challenge. You ain't paying your tithes. You're not coming to the cookouts. You didn't come to the Passover, but you did do the crate challenge. That's how simple we are. Knowing the climate of World War III and white supremacy is on our necks daily, we have time to love simplicity. You understand? All those BS, remember the ALS challenge? What happened to that? What happened to ALS? You know how much money they raised for ALS? Now it's a memory. Yeah, dump a cold water on a nigga head. ALS challenge. And I challenge Officer Zion, and he got to challenge me. And you challenge all your coworkers. It's ridiculous. Go ahead, sir, please.
Hey, Salaki, I was about to say, you talking about the simplicity of, what I'm saying, we love that simpleton mentality to stand in that line and ask for somebody to notice our value when we go out and vote. It's simplistic because the Lord, if you believe in the Bible, right, guess what's going to happen? This empire is going to be destroyed.
It's going to be destroyed. You damn right.
You're wasting time.
You right.
So you're going to set somebody over you that's not your brother. We worried about the political climate when we're the enemy in this empire. And the Lord is going to come back and destroy it all just for us.
Just for us. Yeah. Oh, that's what. Get it, brother. Here, he's so right. Oh, Zion said, good point. Voting is simple. We had the fortunate opportunity to speak to a sister, an educated sister from Baylor University, who has all the strong-willed sister, strong neck too. She ain't taking no mess. And she said, our problem is we yelling too much. We don't vote. That's what she said out of her mouth. So the priest and prophet of the Lord, can you imagine that? The gall this sister had. Y'all problem is y'all rather sit up here matching, yelling and marching, getting us confused with other groups, what she was really doing. And y'all don't vote. We commenced to asking her. Then all of a sudden Zion put her on the hot seat. And she was full of excuses. Voting is a simple thing, black people, Latinos. Voting is very simple. Why? Because what has voting changed for God's chosen people? Don't look at your personal situation. Look at us as a whole, because you may have been doing everything you right back in the Old Testament. You still ended up on cargo slave ships. So it doesn't matter what you did personally. We're in this together. So half of us are giving over to idol worship. The Most High going to punish us. What the hell has voting done for us? Nothing at all. Nothing at all. You see, black folks get caught in the stuff we had to do to be able to vote, but it was all vanity. We never had to march. We never had to sing. We never had to get bit by canines. All we had to do was serve the Lord. So our ancestors who marched and fought, how dare you niggas tell, you know what we did to be able to vote? No one told you to do that, Miss Mabel. The Bible said, serve the Lord. Right. That's easier than some red coats in Smithfield chasing you off the voting booth with pit bulls. Right. You could avoid that brick across your head, Miss Mabel. Uncle Tony could have avoided that billy stick up his back if he would just serve the Lord. We could have survived here peacefully without the right to vote. It had changed nothing. It changed absolutely nothing. Asians don't vote. They got Chinatown in every damn city. Right. Chicago got Chinatown. New York got Chinatown. I think it's damn near Chinatown here in Fayetteville if you go down to Santa Fe. The little Oriental shops. Like I wouldn't pick up Yak and Road. All the Koreans and Oriental shops. You can get pho. You can get your clothes ironed. You can get your nails done. You can get pho. You can get snake stew. You can get whatever the hell Asians eat. I don't know. Squid on a plate just moving. You can get all that off Yak and Road. Right. And no one bothers them. And all of them over here legally damn near. Half of them was prostitutes in the 80s. Just stayed over here. So you mean tell me that voting ain't simple? Right. We the only ones that want to, read it again from the top, brothers.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 22. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity?
We will love simplicity. Wakanda forever. Knowing it's fake. You in a movie theater going like this. Nigga, it's not real. Right. Is vibranium real? Is that real element? I don't even know. I doubt it. I don't think it's real. It's stupid. Wakanda doesn't exist. It's a figment of your ashy, bone-eating imagination. It's not real. And if it is real, God's going to destroy it any damn way. And you Africans won't get Wakanda if it was real. It would belong to us. I'm going to be, Lord willing, hey, nah, you niggas, you Africans, y'all go over here. We going to take us care of all this. I like the beaches over here, so y'all pack it up. Now, one of you pout getting whipped. Move out. Simpleness, man. Simple Simons. Read on.
And the scorners delight in their scorning.
And scorners delight in their scorning. Oh, we heard that. Your pastor, your homeboy who got dreadlocks and smoke weed, know every damn thing. Tell us what we doing. We ain't supposed to be preaching on the Sabbath. That's wrong. The Arab is the white man. Y'all ain't supposed to be collecting tithes. Y'all can't drink wine. Why y'all going to camp for? Da-da-da-da-da-da. They delight in that. They delight, and you can't tell them nothing. You can't teach them nothing. They're thick-headed, and they like to talk down on the priests and prophets of the Lord. This is just evil scorners, man. In any way, shape, facet, that's what they're going to do. And they delight in it. That's their job. I saw that video. I saw Rock posted that brother with the shirt off in Raleigh. You saw that? I mean, this brother here, man, just destroyed for being a simpleton. That's what simplicity will usually get you at the end. You're going to lose your mind. You watch Snowfall, that's being simple. You gain the whole world, but you just can't let go of this figment of vanity, which is money. Now you're a schizophrenic drunk, roaming the streets talking about what you used to have. Oh, yeah. Being simple will get you killed. It always does. You join the Esau's military, they make sure you're not simple. Because you come in simple. You ain't never seen no no AR-15. You ain't seen a sidearm. You may have seen some street weapons. You don't know how to shoot, move, and communicate. A nigga just run out there without no cover and get shot. You don't know how to say, hey, cover me while I move. Got you covered. Pop, pop, pop. You don't know nothing about that. Because you're simple. That's the same thing with this Bible. Your whole life is simple until you learn the basic fundamentals of being a so-called Jew, an Israelite. God's chosen people cannot be simple because we've been simple for so long. Dealt with the scorners, they delight in their scorning, and we delight in worshiping idols that mean nothing, and money, and drugs, and whatever the hell else we do in this day and time.
Right.
You understand? We cannot afford to be simple in these days. It costs us everything. It costs us everything, from our land, to our relationships with our parents. Just studying the transatlantic slave trade and how we even got in that situation from being simple, worshiping a golden calf, because Moses left us for a few days. We done erected a whole golden calf, had a whole New Year celebration, and guess what? We all end up on cargo slave ships. That should be enough to be, we ain't being simple no more. I'd rather serve God no matter what he say. You understand? That's it on that? Read on, please.
And fools hate knowledge.
Who hates knowledge?
And fools hate knowledge.
A fool hates knowledge, man. Knowledge is power. It literally is power.
Right.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Then you get your knowledge. You understand? Your wits, your smarts, your brains. You have to have knowledge, man. You understand? Babies don't really have knowledge. They got to be told what to do, how to wipe themselves. Someone has to make sure they don't trip and fall. We're not baby. We got to stop being like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Only a fool hates knowledge. And we see it every Saturday at camp. All through the comment sections too. Shout out to Trooper Darash who just logged in. We see it, that our people really are foolish. That just hate the knowledge that we're trying to give them through the Lord. Tell us to do this. They act as if we come out here on our own will. We've been commanded to do this.
Right.
Somebody's got to do it. That just let you know the priests and prophets are real, because all through time they've been there. You've never had a time where we just was out of there. We're back in 2023 telling people to stop eating crab legs and killing each other, get off of fentanyl. Right. And you're going to tell us, what about black on black crime? Right. This nigga. We had a whole conversation about fentanyl and gangs, and he talking about black on black crime. Right. We're telling you that Jesus Christ is a black man, not a white boy, and guess what? What about black on black crime? What about birthdays? Why can't I celebrate my birthday? What's so wrong about that? If you tell him about the birthdays, he don't want to hear. He despises the knowledge. He's a damn fool. He's comfortable in his foolishness. We can't be comfortable in foolishness. You get comfortable in foolishness, you're nigh unto the grave. You're going to die. It's a lot of old people who die foolish. Right. I've seen it myself. You ever worked in a nursing home? Negroes will eat pork till they die. They'll never put that Jimmy Dean sausage down. Not once you go to the room and there's the menu and it's pork sausage in the morning. He's 89 years old. Go ahead, sir, please.
So like, if I may, I would get the definition of the word knowledge, Baba Kushal.
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge, facts, information, and skills acquired by a person through experience or education. The theoretical or practicality of understanding a subject.
Practicality, understanding a subject.
So I'm looking at the definition. I'm thinking, as Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, there's a history that has come with us in the things we've learned and information that we receive.
Right.
And in doing so, it should be damn near, is it, I guess, obvious?
Yeah. It should be damn near obvious.
Damn near obvious.
Right.
What's foolish and what's wise. That should be a gleaming line of the vision of what we've learned over the years and information.
Yes.
And it's practical. And it's practical to apply it to life over the things we've learned.
Right.
Which things are wise and which things are foolish.
Yeah, which things are foolish. Give him a hand. He's so right. He's so right. And you know what made me think about when you said that? Integration. Woolworth sit-in. Or you talk about, you know, they had to have the Coast Guard come to Alabama and escort these black kids into the high school. And we should have seen what integration, the lynchings it caused, the harassment, the physical abuse, the murder, everything negative it caused us. Not only did we lose our economic power as far as the black dollar circulating, we lost our integrity. And we like homeborn slaves. We want to integrate into the white man's system, white society's ways, because we're foolish. We should have learned that it didn't work then. I can imagine seeing my daughter, man, getting hit in the head with a brick. Brother, are you crazy? I mean, certain stuff just don't happen to me. Like, you watch these videos of a white dude, a Karen approaches you. That never happens to me. Or some white man trying to tell you where to go, nigger. That never happens. Right. Or your child just being in danger to where you feel like now's the time. Did you just say you was going to do what to my child? Never happens. Not to say it can't. Not to say it can't. But imagine our ancestors, what our forefathers witnessed. Some white man yanking on your wife, manhandling her. And you sitting here because of what? Integration? Negro, please. That's got to be a foolish thing. We haven't learned since then. And for 2023, with the education we have, the YouTube videos, the high-def cameras, the digital remastered footage of the oppression, and you still think that we should join the oppressor? Goddamn fools, man. And it makes us look like we're angry. Why aren't you angry? That's why I thank the Lord for every brother and sister that comes in here, because you're not like them out there. We're trying to make them be like us in here because we love them. But they got to get into their thick skulls and understand that this thing is bigger than you and your pockets. It's bigger than you and your gospel song at church. You can't be foolish, man. Like, knowledge is power. Knowledge comes from the Most High God. We have wisdom and knowledge here. That's why we breaking down scripture, talking about not voting. You tell somebody this on the corner on Saturday. Martin Luther King's dream was a nightmare. Oh, you should hear about it. Oh, y'all crazy. These niggas just said Martin Luther King. Yeah, Orgy Mike. His dream was a nightmare. He said it himself, and we still get chastised for saying it. Not only did Martin Luther King say it himself, but we still get chastised for repeating what he said. It's crazy, man. Foolish. We have to stop being foolish. Read it from the top. I'm going to get off of the next scripture. We got to stop being foolish, man. We have to stop being simple in this place. It's 2023. Yahweh Shai coming back any day now. You do realize the Most High God can change the rules if he wants. Right. He can make any decision he wants to. He already told us a set time when Christ is supposed to be coming back by giving us symbols and signs and things to look out for. But then he said he's going to shorten it. So we don't know when it's coming now. We thought we had a look. You don't have much time. We don't. Go ahead, brother.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 21. Good night.
Salakia.
Check. Check. The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 21. Salakia, verse 22. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity?
Love and simplicity. Pork, shrimp, crab, birthdays, voting. You understand? Church, gospel tambourine, praise and dance worship team, fraternities and sororities.
Right.
All that Greek mythology crap. Simpleness. Go ahead.
And the scorners delight in their scorning.
Right. Big grandma. Go ahead.
And fools hate knowledge.
Fools hate knowledge. Always remember that. Person who rejects this knowledge you try to give them, they're a damn fool.
Right.
And you want to stay away from a fool. They say birds of a feather flock together. What do you think fools flock with?
Right.
Together, a big group of them. I wish there was a word for a group of fools. Like go ahead, sis, please. What's a word for a group of fools? I don't even know. Yeah, we're gonna make up one today. You two, I'll just hold it for like 2 seconds and the light will cut on. You can say whatever you want. There you go, bub.
Hello.
There you go. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So when you said that, it just made me think of what I was reading yesterday. Well, earlier today. I think it was in Numbers chapter 16 when Korah and he gathered all those people and they came up against Moses and Aaron now.
Right.
And like you said, they come together in large numbers. Like I think they said it was I don't want to be wrong, but it was
3,000 of them was thousands of thousands of them.
And they came up and they was like, basically I'm just summarize. They was like, oh, y'all doing too much. Like, who
Right.
y'all supposed to be? Y'all done brought us out here in the wilderness,
Right.
to starve,
Just like niggas.
milk and honey, to be out here hungry and stuff. What you trying to be? Who you think you is? Christ? Like,
Right.
And then, Moses,
She sounded just like one of them Negroes saying that. That's how we talk, though. Who he think he is? Yeah.
Yeah, so, and Moses told everybody, like, hey, y'all need to get from around them. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord dealt with them and everybody who was affiliated with
Yes.
them, and they all died.
That's right. Get that sister a hand, man. She's on cue. Because that's what happens with fools. Meaning the separation is the wheat from the chaff. The separation is happening because the Lord wants to destroy the enemies of Christ, enemies of the Most High. If you're rolling with the enemies, you're going to get killed with them. The best thing you can do is separate. Moses knew how the Lord worked. He pleaded with the Lord to not kill us. The Lord's going to kill all of us and start with Moses. So he already knew the mind of the Most High. We know the mind of the Most High in here. So we're telling our people at camp and in these classes, separate from America. Take your spirit out this place. Don't be a fool. Don't reject knowledge, because if you do, you're going to find yourself in church or hallelujah night, and guess what? It's going to be too late. Thermonuclear destruction is going to rip through that church pews. And brother, don't nothing burn quicker than a church. You ever seen a church on fire? Brother, it's like it's incendiary. I mean, it just engulfs. It's ridiculous. The Lord wants to destroy the enemies. She's right. Don't get caught rolling with fools. Fools are ops to the Lord. And you know what happens to the Lord? Lord's the biggest gangster. How about that? That's right. Lord is the big gangster. And you think your little neighborhood terrorist can shoot up some ops. Well, if you get caught rolling with the ops when Christ return, brother, you're going to be dead as a doornail. And we warned you. We're trying to save our life and our people's lives. You understand? Any more on that, brother?
Con.
Uh-huh.
And scorners delight in their scorning.
Right.
And fools hate knowledge.
And the fool hate knowledge, and fools roll together. Your girlfriend with all her friends, they're all foolish. That's why I understand. You can have friends in the world, okay? But I understand. To me, it's like I have a lot of people that I know. Then I have some I consider really close friends. But the ones I consider close friends that are not in here, those brothers, they pick up on the lingo. Someone was saying Salakia. A nigga just come to class. What you mean, Salakia? You been hanging around us that much, but you don't want to come in here and give. Okay, no sweat. No sweat. They're saying Khan and Shalom. They picking up on the lingo. They're liking what they hear. They want to show up at the cookouts. They want to come to the Passover. They want to do all these things. Come in here before it's too late. I don't know if that's going to get you. You might end up on the chariots. You might have helped somewhere. I don't know. But I tell you what, I'm not going to be a gambler and gamble that chance. I'm going to make my election sure. You understand? It to me, is just having close friends in the world. It's like eventually someone will come in. They'll say, man, this brother, I love this brother. And out of brotherhood and the Lord wanting, they'll come in. Sisters, you have a sister in the world, a sister, and she's in here, and all her friends are in the world, and they all foolish. And she's your Howard Shamar. She got all this stuff going on. She got 20 friends, all of them in the world. They're all foolish. Eventually, sometimes those friends will pull you down towards them. Because that foolishness, brother, once it gets on you, it's on you. And you got to constantly, your righteousness really has to show forth in order for them to pick up on it. And if it doesn't, it just doesn't. But I will surround myself around brothers that's in this work, sisters that's in this work. That's what I tend to do. We got a chance to go out to the world and bring them in with these classes and camp and these cookouts and clothing and food drives and just every day. But they got to make it the choice. Like you had to make a choice. Nothing. You made a choice to come in here. We all did. Some people's popping. Some Negroes were damn rappers in the world and doing drug kingpins. Came into the truth with 2 keys in the closet still. Right. Got money in the street circulating, saying, man, damn, I got about 20 G's in the street. They can have it, man. F it. I don't even want it. It happens. PhDs, a master's degree, veterans, specialists, all kind of stuff. What's your friend? The idea of you is what? That you're crazy because you're in here? They better wake up and copy you and say, you know what? This sister's right. Go ahead, sir, please.
I was about to use the word fortified.
Fortified. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
that's a hardcore right there. That's a hardcore one right there, man. Fortified, good night. You understand? We got any more? That was on that. Give me 1 Corinthians 3:19.
And Salakia,
Please.
Trooper Darash, he says a group of fools is called Fuliamini. Fuliamini.
Wait, Darash, when you get here,
Fulamini.
brother, you got to say that word because I'm over here tongue tied. Pause.
Fulamini.
Yeah, Fulamini. Oh, Fulamini, like a bunch of fools. Hey, Darash like one of the old men at the barbershop. He's with that Fulamini. Yeah, a group of fools is a Fulamini. That's a good one. Yeah, who wants to be in a group of damn fools, man? I'm in a group of hardcore niggas. That's what I'm in. I ain't being no Fulamini. Bump that. 1 Corinthians 3:19. You understand? Shout out to Trooper Darash. I ain't never heard that. A group of damn fools. That's a good one. Well, that's what we not here. You know, I'll never be no group of damn fools.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, brother. What you got there?
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 19.
Uh-huh.
For the wisdom of this world.
Wisdom of what world?
Of this world.
Uh-huh.
Is foolishness.
The wisdom of this world is foolishness, man. Wisdom in this world. You think about all the wisdom this world claims to have. I mean, America boasts itself of being the top of everything. In the military, we dominate what? Land, air, and sea. In the classrooms, we got Harvard, Yale, UC Berkeley, Princeton. They pride themselves on being wise. Havelock Ellis, John Locke. Who are some of these stupid Albert Pike? All these philosophies and, whatever the hell they want to pride themselves in. Having all this grand knowledge, this wisdom that they claim to possess. It's all foolishness according to the Lord, man. Their wisdom is complete, utter foolishness. Manifest destiny, foolishness. Right. That's foolishness to the Lord. You wrote it down and made it sound all philosophical. What you really did was steal. Lord is very straight to the point, concrete. You can't use big words. You can't brother polite the Most High. Right. You can't Tariq Nasheed the Lord. You can't, what's the other African one? Stay focused, brothers and sisters. Don't water. You can't Umar Johnson the Most High. All that babbling big words you have means nothing to him. It's foolishness. He's looking at you like, nigga, are you keeping the law? He'll cut you right to the core. All these 5% nations and the original Asiatic black man and the Moors, and nigga, all that's foolishness. Right. All the Confederate generals who wrote these grand books and these mission statements, and all you military generals to this day, they claim some of the military generals are so wise. What's that one military general? What's his name? It's on the A. Anyways, all these, you look it up. They claim to have this wisdom that the average man doesn't possess, which makes us mere plebeians in the eyes of them, meaning we're just merely civilians walking around. We don't possess this wisdom. Well, that wisdom is foolishness to the Lord. Yes. Yeah, even back then, Nostradamus, Achilles, and all these, whatever the hell they got. Utter foolishness. And don't even get me started on you African, I don't even think there's no African philosophers. Do Africans even specialize in philosophy? I mean, any not eat with their hands can't philosophize nothing to me. Nigga, you eat with your fingers. You got jollof rice all over my damn floor. Read on, brother. Salakia.
In the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 19. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High.
The wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. We are underneath the Most High's protection. We obey the Most High's words. We're not foolish. We separate ourselves from the foolishness of the national anthem and the Star Spangled Banner and manifest destiny. And what's the one about the strong and the weak? What's that white man?
Oh, Charles Darwin.
Charles Darwinism.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah, all that nonsense. Racist. Margaret Sanger, Planned Parenthood. That's foolishness, man. It's all wicked. Yes, Sigmund Freud, Freudian theory. All these theories are all BS compared to the Lord, man. All hogwash. Read on.
For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
Oh, the Lord will take you in your own craftiness. You so wise, but you can't get rid of COVID. It keeps rearing its ugly head again. Monkeypox came on the scene, baffled doctors. Right. Now they got a form of leprosy out again. Doctors say, how the hell is this old biblical disease rearing its ugly head again. Who got the vial of leprosy in the Science Hall of Fame somewhere? Where's it at? Like, no, you can't. It's foolish. The Lord will take your wisdom and make it all. You can create the biggest thermal, energy plant in the world. Security all around it. Put CRAMs out there so nobody can shoot it down. The Lord will make roaches come in and infest it. And you can't get rid of the roaches. Roaches all up in the damn generators, just shutting down everything. He will shut your economy down with roaches. Right. Rats eating through cars in New York. I saw the damn news. They was telling black and Hispanic, hey, don't park your car near the sewers. Especially if you just drove up because your engine is hot. And rats are attracted to heat, and they like to nibble on that nice little rubbery out wire. And it's going to really just destroy all your mechanics in your car. You imagine you in New York and you trusted in Tesla, or you trusted in Ford's, the new technology Ford has, by the top German physicist. He made this engine, some goddamn rat, and went up in there and just destroyed it. A rat, a dumb rat. The Lord created. Man, listen, it's foolishness to the Lord, man. He has a way of sinking that Titanic, if you know what I mean. All of his foolishness to the Lord, it makes no sense. You understand? Read on.
Verse 20. And again, the Most High knoweth the thoughts of the wise.
Oh, and again, repeat. He knows the thoughts of the wise. He knows about white supremacy. All the redlining and the No Child Left Behinds, the special class. He knows about all the vaccines. He knows about all what the military tactics and what they think they're going to plan to do. You know how many stuff he probably already stopped that we don't see? That could have just eradicated us if he wanted to. But this Bible says that it won't happen because the Lord is stopping it. Right. Like all that stuff. Read that part again. He did what?
And again, the Most High knoweth the thoughts of the wise.
He knows the thoughts of the wise. He knows, and it says wise, they think they're wise. He knows all their thoughts, all their habits. It's nothing to him. You're just merely another speck of dust about to get eradicated. Read on.
That they are vain.
Vain means nothing. These thoughts are absolutely nothing. Your pastor thoughts and his sermon and his ways are nothing. Why? Because the damn doctrine he got was from a white man. And they were nothing. Every man-made religion is nothing. And you just regurgitating cookie cutter scriptures.
Right.
All vanity means nothing. All these pipelines and new technology, AI, that's nothing to the Lord.
Right.
Nigga, you can't stop the salt of the earth. The Bible calls blacks, Latinos, Native Americans the salt of the earth. AI can't F with us. Mm-hmm. What is AI compared to a nigga? Right. Barrington Levy, you can't AI that. Can't. You can't AI, we created everything. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure we behind the AI too, probably somewhere. Some black woman was in the lab. Oh, we could just do this. If you break the layers down, a black woman probably behind the AI or some Negro. But I'm saying we are the salt of the earth. And their wisdom and knowledge is foolishness to the Lord, man. It's foolishness. Right. Any more on that? Foolishness to the Most High, man. We got to understand that and put our trust in the Lord because he's all powerful. He is what? The Most High. There is no God above him. All the rest of the gods are dead. These other nations serve dead, nothing gods. Merely statues you just got to wipe the dust off every now and again. They do nothing at all. You can't pray to them. They have no power. They haven't freed anybody. They're just nothing. And we have to separate ourselves from those philosophies and those imaginations and those vain ways of doing things because the Most High God hates them. The wisdom of this world is absolute foolishness. Have you read the damn Declaration of Independence? Who the hell, it sounds, that sounds fair. Who wrote Declaration of Independence? Franklin? Who was that who wrote it? Conglomerate of wise men, right? Yeah, a bunch of dirty white men. And it's all BS. Foolishness to the Lord. If you could, brother, give me, let me see. Give me Ecclesiasticus 15. You know what I'm saying? Ecclesiasticus 15 to 18. The Most High knows all that, man. He understands, he knows it. It's all foolishness. That's why I love this work at ISUPK, man. I really do. I mean, there is no doubt in my mind, this is the home of the truth. It's Always been that. The first time I even heard the brothers on the street corner, I was mind blown. I said, man, this is it. You know, all the conspiracy theories you hear, all the weed ciphers you've been into, a nigga talking about frequencies and algorithms and ultra low frequencies, ultra high frequencies. You know, you can astral project if you just concentrate. And you believe in that nonsense. Then you come in here and learn the absolute truth that'll break your heart, but it's good for you. And you start to see it manifest in your life in real time. You start to see how your children are blessed. You start to see how your life has changed. You start to see it. It ain't rocket science. It ain't magic. And it damn sure ain't foolishness from the so-called oppressor. You know, when you got that for your brother, read from him when you could.
Salakia.
You too, I'll take your time.
What's Salakia? I just saw a video earlier today of the Jizza sitting down with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse,
and they're talking about, you know, metaphysics and science, and that's what comes to mind when I think of that. You know, they're talking about a bunch of nothing, you know, and it's foolishness in the sight of the Lord, you know, and brothers get lost in the sauce believing that these people have some sort of wisdom, but they are devoid of true understanding.
Oh, big time devoid. That's a go ahead, sir, please.
And we see it all the time. These brothers be talking about they can time travel.
Yeah.
Next time you go, take me with you.
I
want the lottery numbers. Give me let me 4, 3, 6, 36. Right. I'll write them down. I promise I will.
See how realistic that was?
We'll bring them back together. You understand?
Yeah, it's like that's realistic thought. All of it's BS though. You ever see this brother called 19 Keys? Man, nothing grinds my gears more than going on YouTube and seeing this Negro with this moon and the stars cap on his head, talking about high level conversations, and all of them are low level. I sound like Charleston White when he said, "I watch $1 million worth of game. I ain't get a goddamn dollar in game." I watch the high level conversations, and it's like it's all foolishness. It's complete fool. Negroes talking about everything Muslim, about food, everything that the Lord created that is going to that you have no power over, really. You're trying to break it down to make it make sense to the average Negro, and women eat it up. They're like, oh, these niggas are so smart. Yeah. I saw this one girl put on her story. She was in her bed, and she had 19 keys and some Negro up there with some crap on his head telling some, I'm getting my knowledge in for the night. So, baby, I got news for you. If you think that's knowledge for the night, you might want to cut that TV off and open the King James Bible. Right. Just the first chapter of Genesis will give you more knowledge than what the hell you was just watching. Right. I mean, it's complete, utter garbage. It's all based off of money, Islam, all up in it. The teachings of Muhammad, all up in it. And not only that, is self-will, meaning, yes, as blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, we have a accountability of what we do with ourselves. Like, meaning, if we put our hand to do something positive, then something positive can yield it. However, none of us giving glory to the Most High God, and they're not saying the thing that you need to hear, like, don't be gay. Yeah. Oh, you say that? Show's over. Right. Two men should never lay in the bed kissing and touching. That's gay as hell. If you say that, you're done. Right. They don't say it. So this show's BS to me. Mm-hmm. It's like it's pseudo. It gives you a nice little conscious fix so you can smoke your blunt and feel like you're in a whole other it's low-level conversation. Mm-hmm. Because after it's all said and done, you're still going to go vote. You're going to pay for his T-shirts online. You're going to go pay and sit some auditorium to hear him talk and do his little stupid Muslim marching movements that you're not going anywhere. When the last time a Muslim picked up arms and did anything? It's all garbage. But our people love that. Oh, yeah. They'll do it to kill Malcolm X, though. But when it comes to old Whitey, George Zimmerman still walking around. Right. You understand? And I'm saying it because there's no law in y'all book. Y'all can do whatever you want. You can sell drugs and be a Muslim. You can sex traffic and be a Muslim. Look at Philly. You can be a pedophile. Muhammad was a pedophile. You could beat your wife in the Quran. So why not just kill George Zimmerman then? Right. Surely no one's going to judge you because you can do whatever you want in the Quran. Right. We don't do it because our Bible says we can't. That's right. Trust me, if there was a law in that Bible saying we could put in work, he'd be dead tonight. But it's not, and he wouldn't even know what hit him. Right. But our Bible, our power, the Most High forbids us from that. Right. He wants to do it. We have a real gangster guy. No. What y'all gonna do is I'm going to really destroy him. Right. Let me at him. That's how the Most High God is. He wants that power. He wants the credit for freeing us by destroying our enemies. He's not gonna let you do it. What the hell you gonna do? Take a Glock and shoot him?
Right.
He gotta rip his goddamn. Go ahead, sir.
Now, I was about to say, when you talk about all the other things that our people waste their time in is placebo.
Yeah, fake. The placebo. It's nothing. And you can give that to us, we'll accept it. That's what a gift is. Placebo. Some politician telling what he gonna do for us. He gonna grease some hot dogs downtown. Oh, Senator Johnson just grilled us hot dogs. He really care about us. He black, yeah. It's a hot dog giveaway. Like nigga. Now you know it's ridiculous, man. Yeah, and the macaroni and cheese was slapping. Yeah, had a choir out there singing. Oh, you'll just vote. Macaroni and cheese, hot dog, some music. What else gets niggas?
It's Salakia. Y'all seen the one where old Joe, Sleepy Joe, was in that black church and they were doing all that singing and he was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, it kind of scared him. I don't think his heart was ready for that. He look around like, look at your sermon. It's okay, Joe. These are niggers. Remember, W. Du Bois said it's a frenzy. You go to a black church, it's a total frenzy, Joe. Just relax, Joe. We'll be out of here in 30 minutes. When I give you the sign, yeah, a few more votes. Code word is hot sauce. When I say hot sauce, we're out the back door. We're so simple. It don't take much to win us over, but placebo and garbage. You got brothers on TV talking about high-level conversations. Not one time did he denounce anything unlawful. Everything's a go. And if you ask these brothers, they're like, I wish you could put this video up of this pastor, man. I forget his name. He was sitting up here baffled about homosexuality. He was torn. He's a millionaire pastor. He's got 5 or 6 kids. He's one of these gay pastors who had a lot of kids that front like he's not a homosexual. Clearly, he's gay. And if he's not gay, he's effeminate, so he's still gay because God said even if feminists won't make it to the kingdom of heaven. So you're gay, you're done either way. He was saying, I just don't know that I'm convinced on the whole homosexual agenda. He's got a green jacket on. Black pastor. And it's like a green varsity jacket. Anyways, just even I'm thinking about the all the preaching he's done, the college he may have been to, all the education, and he can't even tell the truth. Like he don't even know, like he's baffled. And I looked at this brother, all pastors are hustlers, but he genuinely seemed torn because he's gay. And if he denounces homosexuality, he's denouncing himself, meaning he knows he loses everything. I was like, this is foolishness. This is what the Most High wants to keep us from. This is it. It's ridiculous. Evil works and got your mind all in some conundrum. You don't even know where to go or what to do. Man, I wish I could get that gay pastor's name. It was all over Instagram. Go ahead, sis. You know what it is? Oh, okay.
No, I don't know what you talking about.
Man.
I was gonna say, I know you're trying to pull something, but I believe I have something that's relative.
Let me lay it. Go ahead. What you got?
So I have Proverbs 10, 13, and 14.
Proverbs 10, 13, and 14. Okay. Let me see. Walk y'all and get that in 1 second. Hold on. Let me see. Proverbs 10, 13, and 14. All right.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 13. In the lips of him that hath understanding, wisdom is found, but a rod is for the back of him that is void of understanding. Verse 14. Wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction.
Right. Get that sister a hand. It's a heavy precept. You're so right. Meaning, we speak wisdom. You understand? We speak that wisdom. But the foolish, come on, man. Void of understanding. Foolish. No understanding, because if you had the understanding, you break it down. You don't have it. So you have to do a lot of talking. Like Brother Polite did. Now he's in jail for molesting little kids. What's his father? What's some niggas done? Them old cats. Bobby Hemmett. Is it Bobby Hemmett or was it Dr. York? Malachi Z. All this talking, you molesting children. Void of understanding. You know about all this stuff, but you don't understand that you're breaking God's laws. When you put God's laws in the mix of this high level crap, it depletes it. Because now you have to stick to the damn script. Where does God's laws come in between what you're saying to the people? God's laws have to be in our foreheads. We have to live, breathe, and think God's laws every day. You want to know if somebody's full of BS? When they're talking these high level crap and they mention nothing about blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, keeping God's laws, just turn the TV off. Because you're going to waste 2 hours of your time. Nothing matters except for serving the Lord. She's absolutely right. You understand? Understanding and wisdom is found in him. That brother who's speaking about law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? And it avoids punishment. Keeping these laws will keep you out of jail. And it keep you from getting shot. That rod of punishment is a mother effer. 23-1, probation, parole. Well, somebody's constantly telling you can't go off the porch. So you just in the house losing your damn mind. Some niggas rather go back to jail. Can you imagine that? I don't know what kind of brother that is. But some brothers can't stand the thought of having something on their ankle. They'd rather go back to jail and sit down, lay down, do their time. Just insane because you want to break the laws of God. Because you're void of understanding. It don't make any sense. It's insane. What was we at on Ecclesiasticus? The water says heavy precept.
15 and what?
15 to 18.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 15, verse 18. For the wisdom of the Most High is great.
Is what?
Great.
Oh, it's great. It surpasses anything your little feeble mind can think of. All your math and your sciences, your geometry, your Pythagorean theorem, nothing. The wisdom of the Most High is great. You understand? Science is still can't. It's a place in America, in a world where the waters don't mix. It's like a line where this ocean does not mix with this ocean. It stops right there. How the hell can science? Oh, it's the weather pattern. See, it's a bunch of little cyclones going on at the same time. You sound stupid. God told the waters to stop.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like this type of stuff we're dealing with. Read on.
And he is mighty in power.
He's what in power?
Mighty in power.
He's so mighty, man. And we're going to see that might. We're seeing it now. Taking mere slaves, barely can read English, turn them into priests and prophets of the Lord. That's power, man.
Right.
From a book? I don't remember God himself coming down here and grabbing up the Zion or you, nigga, tighten up if I kill you. You're like, oh, I'm coming to camp. That didn't happen. He used the mouth of somebody, put these words in a book.
Right.
And you woke the hell up. That's power, brother.
That's right.
That is power. You understand? To keep you off of drugs? No, these other books ain't power because you can read it and get full of rage and read Mein Kampf and you're still smoking cigarettes and you want to kill. Not to be righteous from the power of this book, brother. That water is the word. It just washes you clean from something that was written and inspired by priests and prophets of the Lord. By God. That's power. He's a most high God. Most high power. Read on.
And beholdeth all things.
He beholds all things. He sees everything you do. He understands all the high sciences. Who do you think he gave them the knowledge of the damn atomic bombs? The Lord. That ain't come from no regular man. He gave it to all of them, so all of them have a fair share in the fight. He don't want no regular. He wants an enemy that's going to fight him back. Come on.
Right.
Nigga, like, give me your best shot. That's how niggas talk.
Right.
Man, come on, give me your best shot. We want a challenge. I want to see how far these devils will go. Get them with this little knowledge. See what they do with it. They take it and become demons, devils, and just create all kinds of monstrosities. Lord's like, I'm gonna tear it up anyway. I just want to have something to destroy. That's it. Lord, the Most High God is a flexor.
Right.
He wants to flex his power. He wants to build this great ass thing up so you can drop it with something simple to show you that he's the Most High God. It's like these fake Israelite groups, these purple clowns. They're going to build them up all high. They're going to drop their ass low. Like he did with everybody else.
Right.
Now you see the red Candy Kings walk around here, dirty pants, dirty garments. Can't get a brother to stop for 5 minutes to talk to him. Destroyed. Like just walk around in the darkness. Read it again.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 15, verse 18.
Uh-huh.
For the wisdom of the Most High is great.
It's so great. The wisdom is great. It's enough to make your head spin. Sometimes, Muhammad can say a scripture breakdown or say something so profound. I'm scratching my head for 2 days like, God damn. It's that heavy. It's just still to this. It's like, what? Who thought of that
Right.
in this book? The Lord. There ain't no high-level conversation making you do that.
Right.
I've heard it all. Go ahead, sir, please.
It's a like it too. And all the time we ever sat in class, every brother that has ever taught us have always said one thing: it's right there in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there. Right there. Ain't no, hey, you got to go down here and purchase this.
Yeah.
You need to go invest in this, such and such. No, it's right here in front of you.
Right here in front of you. He's so right. Right here in front of you. General Yohana get on there in the America on Fire and just read the scripture. You thought you heard all the breakdowns until he get a hold of that thing. And you realize you know absolutely nothing. And you shut your mouth and you just look in awe. Sometimes you on a camera and you supposed to be recording something. General Yohana get up there. You just locked in on him. You forgot what the hell you supposed to be doing. What he's saying is so profound. For the power of the Lord, man. That comes from the Most High God. You understand? Read on.
And he is mighty in power.
Mighty in power. There's so many stories in the Bible where we went to war against thousands with a few and destroyed them. By the time we got there, they was already defeated. The Lord just handed them over to us. All we had to do is show up. They went running for the hills. That's how the kind of God we serve. A mighty and powerful God. Split the Red Sea, walking on dry land. Bro, they still talking about that to this day. I mean, chariots of God. Let me tell you something about the Most High God's power, man. First of all, not only can the U.S. claims to have a UFO that was grounded, that had a nuclear reactor in it. So since the 1960s, they've been playing with this nuclear reactor to try to get it to activate. They finally get this nuclear reactor to activate, and it was so powerful, it killed the people that was in the room somehow. It just destroyed them. So then they start learning how to deal with it to activate it, right? So if make a long story, they activate this nuclear reactor, which is infinite energy, meaning your cell phone might die, your charger might burn out. This nuclear reactor, it doesn't go out. And this nuclear reactor, they're saying, is how the UFOs maneuver, meaning there's no charging port station. There's a nuclear reactor in each one of them, so they're able to defy the laws of gravity and physics as they move around. And they say that what's that place in the desert that they say Area 51? They say all these scientists had Area 51. They got aliens down there. They got nuclear reactors, whatever. BS. Meaning, if that was so, they've seen something that scared the you know what out of them. That maneuvered and disappeared and appeared again. Now, the U.S. might got something that can fly like a UFO. Well, they do have them. I've seen them. They're just shaped like UFOs. And they're quiet and they move like drones. There's nobody in them. It's all man-made from some E4 sitting behind a controller or some lieutenant is guiding it. And they're trying to mimic the movements and try to, like Johanna said, you know, the generals, they're trying to emulate what they think they've seen and what they know about the chariots of God. They won't be able to do it. Because the real thing is not that. I mean, the Bible said this is the curse that goes through the houses. The Lord has an armory of chariots that they haven't even seen yet. Angels in them and some ain't in them. So all that crap that the U.S. has, all this knowledge and wisdom, and it's all BS. You cannot defeat the Lord. You won't be able to defeat the Lord. Go ahead.
So, like, if I may, I was reading that book, Behold the Pale Horse.
Oh, there's another book.
William Cooper.
William Cooper. Yeah.
Who the government assassinated. But
so he says.
Yeah.
I don't even believe that. Oh, they chased me off the road one day. Oh, there was the FBI shot me. He's freaking lying ass fat white man. Go ahead.
He talked about him witnessing a UFO, and he's standing on the hull of a submarine that just breached the surface of the ocean.
Right.
And he said him and the other sailors that were on that submarine that witnessed this UFO come out of the depths of the ocean,
right?
Shoot straight up in the air,
right?
Fly around, do what all these aerial
maneuvers and shit,
maneuvers,
and
then come right back down into the ocean,
right?
And they had to be debriefed,
right?
And so he said, make a long story short, they made them sign these NDAs and all this stuff or whatever.
Yeah, a bunch of men in briefcases walk up,
right?
Don't tell anyone what you've seen. Sign here,
right?
Yeah, Men in Black. Go ahead, sis. Yeah.
So y'all, nobody's ever seen a UFO?
Well, I'm going to get to that. Now, when you say UFO, by definition, A UFO was what?
Unidentified
Unidentified flying object. Okay, now, and also the slaves used to sing songs about what? Swing low, sweet. They would call it, they didn't call it UFO though. They called it chariot. So it had to be something different between what them slaves saw. I don't remember NASA and the Space Force being around in antebellum South in Mississippi, where white men could barely be educated. I don't think they had a space program back then. So they saw something moving and they had to make that song up. Go ahead.
Only reason why I asked because when I was a kid, we lived in the country,
Right.
in North Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
and we was walking. We didn't have street lights and
Oh, country tale.
Yeah, we didn't have street lights and stuff like that. So when it get dark, it's dark. So
Right.
we was walking from. We ended up living down the street from my grandma, but down the street ain't down.
It's a down the street. Yeah. Yeah.
So we was like, well, let's get on home before the sun started setting. So
Mhm.
we started walking home, and we lived. It was a lot of tobacco fields.
Right.
We lived there, and then it would be like woods, and then more fields.
The Moorfield.
Right. So we walking. It's getting dark, and the wave just came. I was like 12.
Right.
My sister was 11. At this point, it was me, my sister, and my mom who was walking. It came up, and it was like the way it came up was crazy because we didn't hear nothing, we didn't see nothing. It just came up out of nowhere, and it was like covered above the trees when we was walking it, and it had lights flashing all around it and stuff. Like we couldn't really see it; we just seen the lights.
The lights, right?
And it was like a couple of seconds. And it was gone.
Gone.
We were so scared.
Right.
Like we ran. Like we ran.
I can see my Negroes right now.
I don't know what that was, but we ain't about to find out.
Yeah, right. Real Negro right there. We ain't find out.
Like, but it was gone so fast.
Right.
It was gone so fast. Like, it was there and it was gone. So I believe certain people see stuff. I mean, we never talked about it.
Right.
It's like, okay, we seen something. You seen that? Okay, we ain't gonna talk about
But that story is common. I've heard this story 1,000 times. I remember being an E3, E4, and you got a lot of time when you're training to FTXs. You're sitting around listening to all kinds of stories for all walks of life. And I've heard plenty of UFO stories from white boys in Idaho to a nigga in Mississippi. Bro, we see him all the time. My uncle could go outside and pray and do like this, and he could make the damn thing go this way, that. I've heard it. I've heard stories like about all of that. Now, am I saying these stories aren't true? No, I'm not saying that because a lot of them are true. The slaves seen them. Ezekiel saw the wheel. Yeah, a flying roll. We've seen them, but you will know the difference between a man-made one and then the Most High's. Meaning, ain't no disappearing, popping up and going through nothing. USA got that. I mean, if that's the case, we have all kinds of soldiers, bullets going through, and then there's not that. Super soldier stuff is a myth. You could barely get Negro to sign up for the army. But UFOs, unidentified flight, we went on the IFOs. They're identified. They're chariots. Right. And what y'all seen could possibly have been a chariot. It could have been coming down, showing himself, or just doing whatever it's doing. Could have been. We're not here to say they're not real. But, they're lying. There's such thing as lying wonders. Let's not forget about Egypt, where Moses had the staff. And who else had it? The Pharaoh had that same thing. And he said, oh, that ain't nothing. And Moses hit threw down a rod and it turned to what? A snake. Then Moses threw his down. It turned to what? How's that possible then? I mean, I've seen theories about what that was. Some people say it was just the when you light that little black stuff and it just snake. Remember we used to do that back in the day? Right. It's like gunpowder or like a lead, or you just burn it and it turns into people say it was that. People say no, the Bible says it was a snake. And Moses' staff ate theirs. Those are lying wonders, like magic, sleight of hand. The so-called oppressor is a master at that. He does have flying saucers. They're being escorted by jets all the time. We also have drones. Am I saying everything that flies on the sky is a UFO? No. But there are accounts that Israelites have seen them. And what y'all saw were probably UFO. Especially when you say, we got up, I was scared. It wasn't welcoming. It wasn't like, come to me. That's what I know is BS. White people say, oh, it stopped there. No, hell no. These are things, the Lord sent these things. Yeah, take me to your leader nonsense. Little green men running out. Yeah. Yeah, phone home. Yeah. That ain't what the slaves seen. That ain't what I don't think, that flying road is. We understand the description of the UFOs from the Bible, what we know from them, from the priests and prophets before us, and what the generals laid down. Have I think that I've seen UFOs before? Maybe. I've talked to people who said that was in the Navy that said they were debriefed on certain things, that spent time out in the middle of the Indian Ocean and the West Africa, everywhere. And they said they seen things come out that goddamn water from 40,000 feet down below wherever and go down by making a splash and flying around insane. Does the military have that kind of technology? I don't know. To make a splash? I don't think so. That's for another dimension. So, hey, guess what? The Lord likes to flex. He could have just been flexing so y'all can have some hope. Who knows? But I do know what the Bible says about those chariots in that day. They're going to rip through the house of the thief. And they have an armory full of the Lord's weapons. I mean, there's chariots, different shapes, sizes, stuff that we ain't even seen before. Stuff that our brain can't even imagine. You understand? So I love UFO stories. I can listen to them all day. I watch UFO sightings and all this stuff. And in my mind, I try to say, is this one real? Or that one's not real. Is this one real? Or is that one fake? And you can usually tell when the blacks, Latinos say they seen them, the way they describe it is usually probably true. The white man, he's usually a liar. He wants clout. Now, these airmen from the U.S. Army and Air Force, they ain't lying what they see. You chasing down something that you can't catch, going against the knots of wind, that's a God. That comes from the Lord. Because they don't have the technology yet. See what I'm saying? Like, there are certain things, when you put the stamp on it, you could tell that it's from the fourth dimension. And we say fourth dimension as a place, it's slang about where the Most High God resides. It's not from this earth, is what I'm saying. And things that are not from this earth usually come from the Lord in that manner. You're talking about UFOs. But we're going to find out for sure. I'll hope it happens during my time. If the Lord has mercy, just let me see it. Or put me away in those chambers of the chariots. Either way, I just want to be there. I want to see this thing. I want to hear it. I want to see it. Like, what, you know what I'm saying? I want that privilege to be there. You understand? But yeah, all that knowledge that the oppressor has about his UFOs, you've seen it. Just YouTube it. The United States has a flying saucer that they're flying around. It is very quiet and it's floating. Now, it don't do those quick change and maneuvers, but it's a little lofty. It's kind of like, oh, y'all trying to, yeah, go ahead.
Like, okay, so do it move wind and stuff? Like, because what we seen, the trees wasn't moving.
No, what I'm saying, what y'all seen was probably a chariot. What I'm saying with the United, yeah, stuff like that where it's defying physics. The white man has physics. He has to play by the rules of physics. When you see something that does not play by the rules of physics, that's usually the Lord. He don't operate on that type of time. We have left and right limits, north and south, that we can calculate and play within. Something that's out of this world, that's how it's described. And when you're describing something that was an out of this world experience, meaning it probably was a chariot. That's your chariot story. You should tell it to your kids. Because how else? That's how grandmama used to do. Girl, we seen this thing came down in the field, it swooped down and gave us cool breeze, like all kind of stories. That's how we got the story. Oral tradition. Somebody seen a goddamn UFO. They seen it. It's not a secret anymore. So much so that the white man has a Space Force because he knows it's out there. That was before you was 12. Space Force wasn't. You get what I'm saying? So that's a lot of time in between. 20-something years. You know what I'm saying? No, before that, you take a zero off that mug. Yeah. So you get what I'm saying? I understand, right? But me, I watch it for entertainment purposes and just really heighten the power of the Lord. Because I know whatever they think they have, they don't. Whatever you think you have, you don't. The Lord can just get you out of here with geese. He'll send a flock of birds and just fly in front of that fake UFO, and now it's on the ground. Now niggas in the projects flipping off of it. Yo, white man UFO that landed in the projects, and niggas and kids is, look at this, they graffitiing it, flipping off of it. They all up in the control panel. Yeah, like Black Hawk down, like Africans did with that Black Hawk. All up in the damn aircraft. That's what's going to happen to the white man's UFOs. They're going to be merely nothing. Just a figment of metal and titanium and whatever they thought was real. What you seen was probably from the Most High. It happens. There's stories all over the, Black Latino culture. When Was that it on 15? You were 18? Read through 20.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 15, verse 18. For the wisdom of the Most High is great, and he is mighty in power.
That's right, Quadar. And it's going to be over within an hour. That's how vicious these things are. It don't sound like no, hey, show me to your leader. Nah, these things are going to rip through everything. Like Jerry Yohana said, the sky going to be black. There's 200 million UFOs. They don't say what size they are. Some of them are big. Some of them had to be big. Remember Independence Day?
Right.
It was engulfing the sky. Like that's a literal almost depiction of what it can be. And it's not happy. There's no gospel songs in that. There will be one tambourine being beaten during that day. You're going to be running to hide. You have what? They ran and got little. That's what we call the South. They got little. They got up out of there. You think that day with 200 million of them? Oh, you're going to get little. You're going to be praying, go Father God and Jesus Lord. All that nonsense ain't going to work. Yeah, shout out to Sister Bayana and Trooper Kodar's rib. They in the building, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, brother Slocky.
Yeah, right. We're in the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 15, verse 18. For the wisdom of the Lord is great, and he is mighty in power.
Mighty in power. Oh, I love that. So we serve a powerful, mighty God. Mighty power. You Christians say it, but you don't believe it. You don't believe the Lord is mighty when it comes to you being gay. You don't think he can fix you. So you'll just be gay your whole life. We really believe the Most High gets you off of homosexuality, crack, white supremacy, being a thief. He'll fix you. This Bible will fix you. White women, it'll get your lust for white women out of there. All you anime watchers like Asian women, it'll fix you. Fentanyl ain't nothing with the Lord's power. It's nothing. The Bible will fix you. We serve a mighty living power. Read on.
And beholdeth all things.
And he sees everything. The Bible says the eyes of the Lord are everywhere. There's a description in the Bible, Ezekiel, about an angel had eyes over all his wings.
Right.
What do you think those eyes are for? For show? It could be for show to scare the hell out of you. But I know the Bible says the eyes of the Lord are everywhere, beholding the good and the bad.
Right.
He's the Most High power, man. Read on.
Verse 19. And his eyes are upon them that fear him.
Oh, man. Eyes upon them that who?
Them that fear him.
See, now, don't get it. Christians will say, see, Lord is watching me. He's with me. No. It says eyes are upon them that fear him. Context. We fear the Lord by doing what? Keeping his laws. That's right. So he's going to watch your children. Those times that you're like, damn, I got to work today. I got to drop my baby off at this effing house. So you check your baby back, the legs, the thighs, you all up in there where like, I better get my baby back how I left him. And you pick that baby up and you see stories where a mother picks that child up. He's got scratches on their face and their back, the private area. You like, who did this to my child? Who did my child? Whole time, Jimmy eating sausage in the refrigerator. Just had a crab boil last night. F your baby daddy, he on child support, but you worry about your child. You don't love your child enough. You don't serve the Lord. And here, the eyes of the Lord are beholding the what?
Salakia.
The ones that fear.
And his eyes are upon them that fear him.
That fear him. Keeping God's laws, you fear the Lord. It's a healthy fear that you should have for a father.
Right.
I mean, your father said, do something, you better do it. I don't worry about sending my kids to school. I teach my children God's laws. Go to school, son. Be as great as you can be. Don't stand up for national anthem, and you do what you're told to do. Be obedient to the people over you. Don't break God's law. He know the drill. I'm not worried about him while I'm at work, while I'm gone, because I serve the Lord. I serve the Lord. I'm confident in that. I might be a little too confident. But what else can I do but worry myself sick about my children or your rib? I don't give a damn. You want to go where? I might say no if you was going with some whores. But if you're going with some sisters school, go ahead. Have at it. I know the Lord watching y'all. One of y'all act, you act up, he gonna demonstrate. But he's watching. You serve the Lord, it takes the cares of the world off of you. Meaning you don't have to worry as much. Just fear the Lord. Do what he say, be obedient, and he'll cover the rest. Even the Bible says we don't even know what the hell to pray for. You'll pray for your kids for 2 hours if you was, you know what I'm saying, if you could. You don't have to do that. The Lord know that. He loves his child more than you do. He gave him to you. Right. You think you love your child more than God does? Hell no. So we can rest assured that if we do what God says to do, his eyes are going to be, it says what?
Salakia.
His eyes are what?
Verse 19. And his eyes are upon them.
Upon them. I want the eye watching. Yeah, move that demon from him. Move that white man from him. Move that van with them no windows in that van. Move that from my kid. That old nasty pedophile. Move Uncle Charlie out the way.
Right.
Move that doctrine, that Christmas tree. Don't let that affect my babies.
Right.
This is my investment. I'm serving you, so that won't happen. Please. That's the attitude you got to have. And you rest assured, because the eyes are upon those who fear him. You got to fear the Lord.
Right.
You hate your brother, you don't fear the Lord. So in every aspect of your life, you better make sure it's wired tight.
That's right.
You got any loose ends, your children lay in the balance. Your wife lay in the balance. Your grandma lay in the balance. Your mama lay in the balance. That breast cancer that he been holding off lays in the balance. Eat that shrimp if you want to. Don't cry when you get that phone call. The God is watching you if you fear him. I rest assured in that. So I pay my tithes. I come to class, go to camp. I try to do what's right because I know both sides of the Lord. He's evil. I mean, he's righteous, but he can be very terrible.
Right.
The Most High God is merciful, but he can be terrible. He created good and evil. How you gonna go against somebody who created evil? You know what I'm saying? Can't play with that. Like, he can allow it to happen to you.
Right.
He can stop it. If you don't fear him, you gambling with something that you really can't afford to gamble with that. You can't do it. You know what I'm saying? You just can't. His eyes are upon those who fear him. You have to fear the Lord. You have to keep his laws. Read on.
And he knoweth every work of man.
He knoweth every work. All those little secret things, all those little quirks, all your little plans that you think is so great. You're going to take over this. You're going to start your own fake Israelite group. All going to take is one nigga to piss you off in judgment. You're going to start your own group. Or he knows your plans on being a disgusting sinner. Or he knows that you're going to be righteous and you're going to be called in that day. He knows everything. There's nothing that you can do to hide from the Lord. His eyes are everywhere. Beholding the evil and the good. Go ahead.
Verse 20. He hath commanded no man to do wickedly.
He commanded who?
No man to do wickedly.
Yo, take that to your Christian pastor, you Christians that are watching, that will see this. If he's telling you the laws are done away with, if your mother and father, your friends, or your prayer circle are having Sabbath school lesson debates, or girl, pastor show laid something heavy Sunday, the Lord Jesus paid it all. Let's boil this shrimp. You better not. Maybe say, nigga, hold on, you ain't paid that goddamn much. Remember that what that movie was? Let me get some of this food up here. Hold on, bro, you ain't paid that goddamn much. But Christians love to find an excuse to sin. And it don't make any sense. Go ahead, sir, please.
And that goes against, like you said, all them Christians that say they were born effeminate. You know what I'm saying?
What is that about? I still don't understand that. You're not born effeminate. You can be born regular, and you can learn to be effeminate by auntie and them. That's why you need a strong man in the house. He'll tighten that wrist up. That's what a man is there for. Be like, hey, man, tighten that walk up. Come here. Don't walk like that. Right. You're doing too much with your hips. Tighten up. And he don't know what he said. What? Tighten up. So he start tightening up. Walk like a robot. Now he worked like Eddie Munster his whole life because of that. Good. He went walk like Medea. I'd rather my son walk like Eddie Munster than Medea. Tighten the hell up, nigga. You need that. All this BS they're talking about me born again, all this. That's not true. It's ridiculous. The Bible says effeminates won't even inherit the kingdom of heaven. So you know the Lord don't play nothing gay. He not about no broke wrist and hey girl, nothing. Well, I got some tea. Niggas, the girls be like, well, you got some tea, girl? They know that's hot piping tea. That's what they call it, right? Y'all still call business tea? Or I'm late. I'm old. You know. That's a good. She in here. She don't care about no tea. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I try to catch her. Like, yeah, we talking about that tea. I know that's right. Go ahead, brother. Read on.
Neither hath he given any man license to sin.
First of all, yeah, he didn't give us a license to sin. Christians, he paid it all. So you can do what? Sleep with somebody's wife? Right. So you can kill? So Christ paid it all so you can do what? And you really can put a Christian on a hot seat by asking them this. Christ died so that you can do what? And then hit them with it. And they'll be like, so I can do anything that the Lord says I can. And what is that? What is it? What is it something that you want to do? Like, or what do you want to do that goes against God's laws? Really, I'm locked in on that, because it's not about you going to the car show. We ain't talking about that. Going to the movies or drinking a beer. You want to molest children, or you want to eat pork. You want to save the white man from his damnation, or you just want to be what? You just want to just be what do you call it when you just have sex with a sapiosexual? What do you call them? Whatever sexual, whatever LGBT crap. Yeah, hedonist, whatever you want to do, right? They say that to fit their sin. That's all it's about. Christ didn't die for you to keep sinning. That didn't ever happen. You show me a story where Christ healed anybody or delivered any man or woman and told them to go ahead and keep sinning. Go ahead. You're fine. I'll meet you here same time next week. No, go and sin no more. This whole Bible is about getting your mind right and changing your life. Don't let no Christian pastor, no first lady tell you that you have a license to sin. My brother just read it. You don't have a get out of jail free card. Grace ain't even a get out of jail free card. You think young Dolph knew that before he woke up that morning? He had a whole itinerary plan. Young Dolph thought he was finna go do what? Hand out turkeys for the Thanksgiving drive and money to the community. He got gunned down in a cookie shop. You ain't no different from Dolph. You do the same thing he doing. You damn sure ain't in here. You go figure. You understand? Read on. That 20 part again.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 15, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
He hath commanded no man to do wickedly.
Lord ain't commanded no man to do wickedly. So when you hear that Christian pastor say laws done away with, he's saying that God did command to do wickedly. He did not. That's a lie. Your pastor is a liar.
Right.
Period. Read on.
Neither hath he given any man license to sin.
No, you can't eat crawdaddies and shrimp and lobster and calamari. You go to a restaurant. Oh, great, they got calamari. What? Have you seen that crap before they fried it? And you want to say your man throwing your pH balance off? No, B, you throwing your pH balance off. You just had Hennessy, hookah, and calamari. I know it smells like damn ocean in there. The hell is you talking about? The Bible's a real book. You understand? Go ahead. That's it on that. If you could, give me 2 Corinthians 5:15. This probably our last one. 2 Corinthians 5:15. You understand? We got to get our minds right, man. Yeah, that Alabama brawl was good. That Alabama brawl gave us a little spark that we needed. You ever been cold and you wish you could just, you ever try to make a fire and you just about to give up? Like, damn, you doing this right here, trying to get the smoke, or you got a little flint rocket, you scraping it, trying to get that murder, and you just about to give up until you finally get that spark you need. And with that spark, you got to do what? You got to blow on it. You got to try to add more, tinder to try to get that fire going and get something going, to get some heat going, to get progress going. That Alabama brawl was merely progress, a little bit spiritual. It showed that black people just are, we're more than just slaves. We're more than just selfish people. We actually do have love for one another. Now we got to hone that in righteousness and come all the way in with it. Pause. We got to come together in that same spirit every day.
Right.
Not just when it's time to pick up a chair and fight, but when it comes to fighting your flesh. Have that same energy that nigga swim across the water. Have that same energy for quitting cigarettes.
Right.
Have that same energy for getting off fentanyl. Have that same energy for being gay. Those gay thoughts, ask the Lord to take it away from you.
Right.
You hear the sound of my voice, you struggle with homosexuality, just ask the Lord to take it away from you. But you got to keep God's laws. Come into the Isupk, keep these classes, log in. You don't have to live that life of sin. You don't have to. That's why Christ died. So you can be righteous and be brand new. You was a nasty sinner, now you're brand new. It's that simple. It's
Right.
your choice. Your choice. Go ahead.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 5, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
And that he died for all, that they which live should not henceforth live unto themselves.
Now, because we're in Corinthians, don't get hyped, Pastor Joe Willie. See, right there, brother. It said he died for all. And cue the organ, start singing that song. No. This was a letter written directly to the church in Corinth. These were Israelites Paul was talking to. There's context in the Bible. That all is talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. The Lord's children, Paul's hope, his brethren by the flesh. Nobody else. So when it says he died for all, Pastor Joe Williams, sorry to tell you, there ain't no Hawaiians and white men in that.
Right.
Go ahead. And damn sure ain't no stinking Africans.
But unto him which died for them and rose again.
Christ died for us. He died for us. Read that part again.
The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
And that he died for all,
right,
that they which live should not henceforth live unto themselves.
Don't live unto yourself. Put the weed down. That's for yourself. You're getting high. You like the feeling of not giving a damn about nothing.
Right.
Like Cat Williams said, oh, my light bill cut off. Let me smoke this blunt. I don't F them lights. Nigga, you need lights. What's wrong with you?
Right.
This ain't 18, what they had lights in what? 1900s or something like that? Yeah, this ain't 1750. You need lights, nigga. You want to get high on fentanyl and you overdose, now everybody crying over your funeral.
Right.
You ain't have life insurance. You left nothing but sorrows and debt. You wanted to join that game because you was a punk.
Right.
This is what you wanted to do. Read on.
But unto him which died for them and rose again.
You better. You see, you got to understand Christ died for you to change your life. He took on all the evil lashings. Oh, man. They tried to kill him every chance. Christ was preaching and doing miracles. They was always trying to catch Christ in some kind of, you said what? You said you was God. Oh, kill him. He disappeared on their ass. Whoop, gone. Oh, you did what on the Sabbath? Oh, they was always, imagine living like that. You kind of live like it now in a little bit.
Right.
Chastisement. But he said, know that they hated me first before they hated you.
Right.
Christ died for us to have a chance to live life. You understand? Read on.
Verse 16. Wherefore,
go ahead.
Henceforth,
from this point forward, go ahead.
Know we no man after the flesh.
Know we what?
Know we no man after the flesh.
Go ahead.
Yea,
Uh-huh.
though we have known Yahushua Mashiach after the flesh, yet now henceforth know we him no more.
That's right. You understand? You have to understand something, man. You really have to put your flesh away. Circumcise the foreskin in your damn mind, man. Get it, just put it away. All the wicked stuff you've been doing, think about what Christ went through. Who was a nigga just like you. You understand what I'm saying? And not only was he a Negro like you, but he didn't sin when he had multiple chances to sin. And he had power. He had power. He changed water to wine. You give the average nigga the chance to turn water into wine. He have a Hennessy dispenser in his house. You just go to the sink and just in Hennessy. Just he'll use that for all his selfishness, all the women he wanted, all the lottery. The Negro would just take that and just do whatever he wanted. Matter of fact, he wouldn't even last the 40 days because he would have took the bread. Satan tried to tell him to do. You know what I'm saying? He would have failed in the fasting. Christ would endure all that fasting to show us what it is possible to be a human on this earth and be Israelite and not sin. Get rid of your flesh, man. Think about your Howard shot before you fire that blood. That's what got me off of drugs. You heard about you crucify Christ once again. When you smoke, I was like, I don't think I want to do that.
Right.
I'm not finna puff this blunt.
Right.
I'm not finna go to this strip club. I'm not finna sell this pound. I am done.
Right.
I am so, like old Christians say, my mind is made up. I am sold out. I ain't doing it no more because this is more important. I understand that Christ is coming back. How am I look him in his face what he did for you and you just act like it was nothing? Christ did not die in vain in this school. And we show every day that we keep the laws of God.
That's right.
Read on. That was it.
Salakia.
On 20.
Yet now henceforth know we him no more.
That's right. That was on that last one. Give me.
When we read 17.
You can go ahead.
We're in the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17. Therefore, if any man be in Mashiach.
There you go. Therefore, here it is. If any man be what? In Christ. Read on.
He is a new creature.
Brand spanking new. You're not Dope Boy Rail no more. You are your Hebrew name.
Right.
You're not that thief that everybody used to say, hey, put y'all purses up. You know he like to steal.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't him no more.
Right.
You ain't that schizophrenic talking to the air. You're not that sexual deviant on OnlyFans. You are a brand new person.
Right.
And people will recognize you as that. They'll see you in food line and be like, Cheryl, girl, something different about you. Almost they recognize you. Yeah, that spirit on you now is different vibe. You keeping God's laws now. Your skin clearing up. You get your edges back. You a nigga, you nigh unto damn, what's that? You nigh unto damn some disease, you didn't even know it. Lord took it from you. You changing your life. Just took it from you. You didn't even see it coming. You didn't see that blood clot about to hit your brain. It's gone. Dissolve because you decide to be a brand new person. Your diet changes. The way you think changes. Your spending habits change. Your desires change. You need this truth, man. Go ahead.
It's a lot. That change happened right when you hit Hebrew Academy.
Oh man, yeah.
That first 2 miles saved your life.
Yeah, that first 2 miles. Yeah. You power move. I know these niggas ain't do all this. Yeah, brother, they did it. I was one of them. Like, man, the way hell they did this. Yeah, brother, they did it. You gonna do it too, and you gonna shut up about it, or you can get the hell up out of here. Not gonna foul. And you thankful for it. You got the shower look like the old Gucci man. Then one day you like, damn, this Hebrew Academy paid off a little bit. Damn, got brotherhood, lost some weight. Right. What they say, Lord set me on my feet, turn me the right way. Good night, boy. Sunday, hey, Lord willing, Hebrew Academy coming back this year.
That's right.
You know, so I got a good feeling it is. Big shout out to Commander Yohana. You know, it's all up to him. Go ahead.
Old things are passed away.
Oh, yeah, you used to be gay. You used to smoke. You used to eat everything unlawful. You know this Bible has a menu in it. It's in Leviticus. It tells you what not to eat. Right. You confused. Go look at the dietary law. That's your menu if you Black, Latino, Native American, Indian.
That's right.
You ain't got to think no more. You know what you can and can't eat. Right there, that's simple. Who you can love, who you can have sex with, right here in the Bible. Go ahead.
Behold, all things are become new.
Look at that. Behold, it's like brand new car. Just ripping the veil off like, look at this person. It was an old dope boy. Now look at him. He on the street corner talking about thus saith the Lord. She was an old hoe. Now look at her. Only been with one man. He was an old liar. Now look at him. Ain't told her a lie for the first. I don't even know who this nigga was. Once you come in here, you become a brand new person. That's right. That's beauty in that. Who don't want that pardon? Oh, pray for, like, I don't want to be known as that Negro that did all this disgusting stuff. Right. That stays on you like a bad tattoo, a bad stain. I want that off of me. Right. I don't want to even be reminded of it. So you come in here to become brand new. It's good for your mental health. It's good for your life. Your life depends on it. It sounds like the stuff we're saying is a bunch of fire and brimstone preaching until that sky cracks. Until that sky cracks, then you're going to know exactly who the Lord is and who the Lord was with. And with that, that's my time. I'm going to bring up Officer 1000 Bankia for the announcements. Yeah, buddy. You got the folder? You got it? Okay, no sweat.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. The book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means 10th in the Hebrew. It's pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to Treasury Department or teacher. Priest funds, a free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. The upcoming Holy Convocation. We have the memorial blowing of trumpets, the first day of the 7th month, which is Friday, September 15th of this year, according to the book of Leviticus, 23rd chapter, verses 24 through 25. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, imagim, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to render one courteous salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, imagim Shabbat, imagim, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrakatah. Yahweh Matah, hands down, Sar. Turn and face the sisters. Sisters, imagine. Men of Israel, we're going to render one courteous salute to our sisters. Men of Israel, imagine Shabbat,
Imagine Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Thaba, Shem Yahweh Shah. Yada Matah, hands down, class dismissed. That's a lock, yes, sis. Got that little baby. Look like a dad. Good baby. Ain't cried yet since I've been here. Baby ain't cried the first.